That's the issue. It's perception. The problem is we're worried about what is correct, and that's good. You should. But if someone doesn't believe you're an expert, it doesn't matter if you're an expert. If someone believes you're an expert, it doesn't matter if you're an expert. In either case, it doesn't matter if you're an expert. It's only what they believe. Remember, in any business, if you're a business owner or if you're at that level of controlling the business, there are three parts to any business when you break it down. Right? When you really break it down to reduce it to its core. There's sales and marketing, operations, administration. That's it, right? When you break it down to its absolute core, only three. When it comes to sales and marketing, the number one thing is efficiency. That means for every dollar I put in, how many dollars am I getting back? That is the number one piece when it comes to sales and marketing. What do I put in? What do I get back? Critical piece. You've got to be able to be efficient in your sales and marketing. But when it comes to operations, that's effectiveness. So sometimes I'll spend more money in operations to ensure I satisfy my customer. The big difference between the two. In sales and marketing, it is only perception. You could be the worst in the world and you can still sell like you're great, right? It's only perception. When you go to operations, the reverse is true. Now it's reality. I got to actually be good at what I say. I've got to be able to do the job. Those are two separate pieces. And the sad part for people who have multiple hats is they forget which hat they have on.
Yeah.
And they put on the operations hat while they're selling, or the selling hat while doing operations. It's a problem.
Yeah.
And the last one is admin. And admin is all about outsourcing. Admin is a waste of time. Every much of admin you can get away, get away. That's you get away, get all the admin away to the best of your. That's legal, finance, all those things. Outsource that to the best of your ability, right? Not everyone can do that, obviously. I get where people are, but to the best of your ability, outsource that stuff. It doesn't service a client. It doesn't get a client. Outsource it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how you should be thinking in general. So there's a side of perception you've got to work on. Now, this goes, all good marketers understand that, but the sad part about most marketers, and you see it, most good marketers, excuse me, don't market themselves well. They market their clients great, but themselves terrible. It's like the old saying, the shoemaker's son has no shoes.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone else in town got shoes, but his son has no shoes. Right. So I think that's a common problem. Yeah. But if I could bring that to the idea when it comes to marketing and sales, if I could bring that to the idea of brand, if you don't mind me going down that road.
Sure. Yeah.
All of us create our own brand. And most people believe, if you ask the person, well, what's your brand? They assume it's a logo. That's what most people believe. And sadly, even some marketers believe that. I hear people who say, I do branding. And I say, what's that mean? Well, I do logos. That's not branding, right? Branding is at its core, again, I'm reducing it to its bare minimum so that people understand the theory behind it. Branding at its core is the emotion or feeling that people get when they interact with your marketing and your operations, not your admin side. Yeah. When they interact with your marketing and your operations, what is the emotional thing you get? And most people believe you got to have a high-end brand. Absolutely not true. You have to have two things: a brand that matches you, whoever you are or whatever you're doing, right? That's important. That's the match. And it has to be congruent. And what I mean by that is, think about in America, of course, we have Walmart, huge company. And if you'd ask what most people think about Walmart, what do they feel about it? They would say big and cheap. And they're right. They're big and cheap. So if you walk into a Walmart and you see two people wearing a suit, what would you do? You'd say, whoa, what's going on? Why are there people wearing suits here? Right? It wouldn't fit. It's incongruent. You would hesitate naturally. Now you probably think, well, maybe they're cops and they get ready to arrest somebody in here. Maybe you might think that, maybe, or something, or maybe they get ready to investigate or whatever. But you wouldn't think there were people shopping there. You wouldn't imagine that. Now, not just that. You look at their employees. Employees are wearing their own clothes with a cheap vest, and you're fine. And people spend tons of money in Walmart. It's a very low brand. If you look outside, it's plastic and paper everywhere. It's cheap. Of course, it's the right brand. Yeah. But then go into a high-end store like a Nordstrom's or something like that. And what do you see? changes everything. Now, both stores make money. Neither brand is bad, but if they're congruent, people don't hesitate.
Yeah,
And that's the
absolutely.
issue. If you want people to say, yeah, remember, hesitation in sales means no.
Yeah.
Hesitations in marketing means less efficient, because now they're going to come back. Maybe they could, who knows? So you want to make sure that you're providing the least amount of reasons for people to hesitate. And understanding your brand is critical. You don't want to have a brand that is incongruent. People will hesitate. And if everyone's online now, hesitation means they click someplace else. And now you've
Yeah.
probably lost them. You might not. If you're really good, they might come back. It's possible. But odds are you've lost them. If you haven't lost them, you've delayed your revenue. I don't
Yeah.
want to delay my revenue. I don't want to lose them. So more congruent brand, the better. And the sad part about the branding piece is what I mentioned earlier. Your brand doesn't hit immediately. You can't see the effects of brand, in a week. You just can't. You're not going to notice it, right? It's at least 3 months before you see the effect of a brand, sometimes even longer, but it's at least 3 months before you see the effect.